So in this video, I'm going to go over a cue to help offset lower back rounding in the deadlift. So this is both relevant for the conventional and a sumo stance deadlift, but basically what I see with individuals who lose their lower back positioning at the bottom of the movement is generally they'll be in this position, and as they go to lift, the pelvis is tucked under this way, okay? So it kind of looks like a dog taking a shit, you know, where the position they want to be in is more in this rotated position where we can keep the back extended and maintain that position as we pull the bar off the floor. So as I just explained, it's generally a loss in position of the pelvis. So basically, we don't want to be tucked under like this. If we're tucked under like this is when we can get the lower back rounding. So I'm going to instruct clients to be more in this arch position here, okay? So it's basically it's a rotation of the pelvis, and I'll go over some tricks to learn that if you have difficulty doing this position, but basically that rotation is what I am doing at the bottom of the movement. So if I'm here, so this is tucked under, whereas I want to be here, okay? So it's the ability to rotate the pelvis into this position, holding it tight, and then when you come up, you don't lose that position. You come back down, you'll arch it again. This opposed to being like this, and then when you lift, you're in this rounded back. So you don't want to be here, okay? You want to be here. The important thing is when you're at the bottom of the movement, once you have rotated your pelvis, and we'll call it setting your back, you do not want to let go of your back set, okay? So once you're here, once you arch like this, okay, do not let go of that back set, okay? There will be some loss of back positioning when you've got a significant amount of load on the bar, which is okay, but you don't want to totally lose it. So you're going from this position, and then as you lift, it just you just lose the entire position, okay? So once you're down here, once you're set, do not let go of that position as you lift the bar off the floor. Now, I get a lot of people who really struggle to be able to do this movement. Because as I said, all the movement is happening from a rotation of the pelvis. It's not from lifting the chest, okay? It's not from pushing the bum back or forward and bending the knees. It's all from the pelvis. You can see the seam on my pants, okay? The pelvis is tipping, and then it's coming flat. So a lot of people, if you're unable to do this, here is, I guess, a system that I give to my clients to try to teach. So if you're unable to do it standing here, the easiest way to learn first is be able to be on all fours, okay? Tucking the pelvis under, and then arching. Okay, again, you want to isolate the pelvis. I'm not moving the chest, I'm not bending my arms, I'm not pushing my bum back. I'm just rotating at the pelvis. This movement here is a good way to feel in how the pelvis should be moving and what it feels like to be able to rotate the pelvis without moving any of your other body parts. Once you can master on the floor, I suggest doing like saying 2 or 3 sets of 10 reps just to get the idea of what it feels like to move the pelvis. When you can do it on all fours, your next drill is to be able to do it standing, like I showed you. Sometimes this can help. I find when clients see themselves in the mirror, so they can see again their pelvis rotating, or again, looking at the seam of your pants. You can even make like gun fingers and put the gun fingers here, because it's like I'm trying to point the fingers down and then point them straight ahead. Okay? Down, straight ahead. When you can master doing it standing, the part where everyone struggles is once they start going down here. So I find a lot of people can do it here, but as soon as they start getting here, they start to struggle when they're in this bottom position with the bar. So sometimes what I get clients to do is work their way down. So you will be doing it here, okay? Go just bending a little bit, you can put your hands on your knees, doing it here. Basically, you're twerking, getting ready for a rap video, okay? So when you can do here, you can go down a little bit. You can do it here. Again, this is isolating the pelvis, not moving the chest, not pushing this way. It's just isolating the pelvis. And then from here, you'll be able to work your way down to a bar. Work your way down to the bar. So then you can practice it here. So you might just practice this position. Okay? What I also get clients to do for people who are new to this is when they're doing the initial pull, I will purposely get them to round their back so that they can arch. So they can feel the difference when they're in an arch position and when they're in a rounded position. Because some people, they'll come down here and they're like, I feel like I'm arched, but they're not. So if you feel the difference of being rounded compared to arched, okay, it can give you that contrasting difference of being set versus not set. So for a few weeks, that's how you might do the starting position. So you're down here, you go rounded, then arch, so that you can lift like that. So you'll purposely round it, arch it, hold. In some cases, people will just have to drop the load and lift with the weight where they can maintain that position. If you have not been, setting your back or arching your lower back before your deadlift, you will probably find that your legs are going to be able to lift a lot more load to what your, pelvis or back arch can maintain. So let's say if your max deadlift is 180 kilos, okay, but you find once you start getting to about 150, you just can't maintain that back positioning. You might just have to start with the load or a load that's a little bit under to what your back can maintain position. So if 150 kilos is your best for 5, and if you go say 155, you're going to lose that back positioning. You might want to start somewhere about 140, okay? Then each week you can add say 2.5 kilos, so you can allow your, technical strength to catch up to what your leg strength is. Because if you keep doing a load which is much heavier to what you can maintain that position, you're just not going to be able to maintain that back position under heavy loads. So you will have to be a little bit more submaximal, do a load to which you can maintain that back position, and then slowly work up from there as the weeks go on. And if you still want to get a significant amount of training stimulus, but also get to work on maintaining that back position, I find pause deadlifts are really good because it kind of exaggerates that bottom position and your ability to hold your back position, okay? So if I'm down here, I'm gonna arch 1,000 and then up, okay? Arch 1,000. because when you do the pause, if you lose that back position, I guess it's going to be, the feeling of the loss of position is going to be very focused in your brain, because we're really, I guess, exaggerating that error, we can say, and you're going to have to work really, really hard to maintain that back position when you're doing the pause deadlift. So I find pauses really good way to teach someone to maintain that position at the bottom of the movement, but also will probably help build some strength in the ability to maintain that back arch or that pelvis position.